the score, just everything about this thing was awesome. And I don't understand the hate. I guess everybody just at this point doesn't want dramas. They don't want, story driven, dialogue driven films. I don't know. That's the only reason I can think of why they would hate this film, because everything about the film was amazing. I think if you can find this one, check it out. You'll be happy that you did. It's a good old fashioned crime noir film that just, I think was this, I don't know. I can't say enough about it. I really enjoyed it. Stop the Hate. Motherless Brooklyn. Check it out.
Check it out. Check it out. Number 4 for me goes to Van Helsing. I
Ooh.
really enjoyed this one. Hugh Jackman and a couple of other people, really notable people. It's just the classic monster stories. You got Frankenstein, you got Dracula, you got a werewolf, all the good things, and how it's intertwined in family. But I really enjoyed this one. A lot of people feel like crashed it for and like hated it because of the CGI effects and the different types of storytelling. They felt like the dialogue was kind of rough, but I think it was really good. This type of content has always interested me, medieval stuff, aka that's why I love House of the Dragon. But this one was really good in my opinion. So I feel like a lot of people should see it. And yeah, quit giving it hate.
Yeah, I totally agree. I love the film. I thought it was amazing. I just Hugh Jackman. Is anything that Hugh Jackman does bad?
Right.
I think not. That's just plain and simple facts. Okay, my number 4 is okay, gotta bring up the list, my man. We gotta bring it up. Spawn is my number 4. So how did anybody not like this movie? If you're a comic book fan, if you're a Todd McFarlane fan, I thought this movie could have it been done better. Sure, it could have, but this isn't a time when the CGI wasn't at the level that it is at now. Was there issues with the cape? Was it a little kind of a, but the overall general idea of the character I thought was brilliantly done on screen. John Leguizamo's clown was fucking scary as shit. I think he nailed the character. I thought it was a brilliant interpretation of the character. I would have liked to have seen Twitch. I would have liked to have seen the detectives. There's some things here or there that I thought could have been done a little bit better. But, back then, you were kind of so guided heavily by the studio, and McFarlane had the hands cuffed by the studio and was told kind of how to do it to capitalize on the superhero films. But Spawn's not a fucking superhero. And I think he did a really good job of trying to stay true to the interpretation of the character. And I'm really excited about the new one. I hope we do finally see it. I hope it is indeed Jamie Foxx that plays the character. And I think with the way the CGI is and everything in place, I think it's going to be a nice redo, if you will, to get the story right. But check out, if you're not familiar with Spawn or the character or the the storyline behind it all, check out the film Spawn. I think that you'll really like it, and then you'll get pumped for the next one as well.
Agreed, man. Agreed. I really enjoyed it. And I was like a freaking kid when I was watching it. So it's kind of different for a kid watching it.
Oh yeah. Clown.
Yeah,
Fucking
he
spooky, man.
He was scary. Number 3 for me goes to Ben Affleck's Daredevil. I actually really liked it. Jon Favreau as fucking Foggy. I thought it was hilarious. And then bringing in Elektra with what's her face there, Jennifer Garner.
Yeah.
And I thought it was really good. It wasn't of course, the Marvel standard of what it is now is, of course, it does not meet that. But I thought it was a good story. And Ben Affleck, I can take it or leave it sometimes, but in this film, I thought it was really entertaining, especially for that time period when Marvel was trying to get their feet off the ground with the cinematic universe. So I liked it, in my opinion. So there it is. Number 3 for me, Daredevil.
Yeah, I didn't hate this movie either. I thought Affleck played a really good Matt Murdock. I think the problem with the Daredevil stuff is again, when I was talking about with Spawn, just the CGI wasn't there yet. The fight scenes between him and Bullseye and everything, a lot to be desired. It was bad CGI. It looked bad. Of course, there was a lot of flack that Jennifer Garner was Elektra because she is as white can be.
Yeah.
And Elektra is not. So there was some flack there. And then on the other side of that, the reverse racism, Michael Clark Duncan playing Kingpin, who's not as white as white can be. And what people were pissed about that. I think there was a lot of hate directed at this film for all the wrong reasons. And I think it was a good effort. Like you said, back in the day, before the MCU existed, before Marvel had control of everything, I thought it was a good effort at telling the story. Best film ever? No, but doesn't deserve the hate by any means.
Exactly.
My number three is another one that I just don't get. Not only did it spawn one of the best Aerosmith songs of all time, in my opinion, but it's also a hell of an entertaining movie and a great cast. And if you're going to direct the hate, direct it at the other one, Deep Impact, because I thought that was the shitty one. I'm talking about my number three, Armageddon, where the boys get on the space shuttle, they get shot up into space and try to blow up a fucking meteor before it destroys the Earth. It's a great, it's Affleck again,
Yeah.
And Liv Tyler and Bruce Willis and Steve Buscemi and and if I'm not mistaken, Michael Clark Duncan too. The whole Daredevil, they were all there.
Literally.
But it was a fucking phenomenal movie. It's just good fun. It's a good, fun action film about the worst case scenario of something that could indeed happen in reality. We hope to God not, but could. And they wrote it. And I think, a lot of the hate directed towards this one came that Deep Impact also came out, was the very same story, different cast, different, but two movies of the same thing out at the same time, and just people picked and choose. And I think that unfortunately Armageddon came out on the raw side of it, which in my opinion was the mistake. I think Deep Impact should have been getting all the hate, and and Armageddon. Go back and watch it. It's actually a really good, entertaining movie.
It is. I like it a lot,
Yeah.
to be honest. Number two for me goes to You Got Served. This one is, you go back and watch it, and it's kind of classically bad, but bad acting and everything. But it's still one that I really enjoy to watch because it was just something of like my childhood, and it's about street dancing and all the things like that. But Omarion, Jarrell Houston, Steve Harvey's in it, a couple of other notable actors that just kind of like rose their way to fame. But I really enjoyed it because it's just that special part of my childhood that, it brings you back to a certain point in time when things were good. So yeah, I think number two for me is You Got Served. I'm sure not a lot of people even saw this film, to be honest with you.
No, facts.
So it's very underground.
Yeah. Okay, so you plopped out Daredevil. Now I'm gonna give one that I'm sure we're gonna get a lot of heat for, and just send it my way. I'm ready for it. My number two of films that I actually liked that everybody else seemed to fucking hate, Fantastic Four. I really liked Fantastic Four. Is it the greatest film ever made? No. Is it the best superhero movie? No. Could have it been far better? Yes. Was Doctor Doom stupid? Fucking right he was. I love Julian McMahon, but it was an awful version of Doctor Doom. All that said, I thought the casting of Fantastic Four was really well done. I liked Jessica Alba and Ewan and Chiklis and Chris Evans. I thought that they were a good Fantastic Four. I would have liked to have seen, I know they went practical with the thing instead of CGI, and maybe rightfully so, just because the CGI wasn't at that level yet, right? Motion capture and all that kind of stuff. I would have liked to have seen them a little bigger. I would have liked to have seen that. But other than that, I thought it was well done. They got the tone right. It was comedic and yet also super heroic. And I think the main hate comes from just the storyline wasn't just great with Doctor Doom. It just wasn't a good Doctor Doom. It wasn't a good thing. But I mean, the other story, I love the storyline between Sue and Reed. I love the storyline. Even they went into delved in with Thing and his relationship with Alicia, the blind girl that falls for him. And there was so many good things about it that I just think had it been done now in an age with better CGI and maybe better storytelling pacing, with the direction of, Feige in the MCU, I think it would have worked. And so I'm really curious to see how this new one is going to be. But, don't hate on this one. I thought it was pretty good for its time. I'm not a hater on this.
Yeah, for sure, man, for sure. I'm kind of in the same realm. I've only seen it a handful of times, but I didn't think it was that bad.
No,
but a lot of people were hating hardcore.
Fucking the new one with Michael B. Jordan, all that
That's
deserves
awful.
all the fucking hate.
So
That
bad.
was so bad, but that one I kind of like.
Yeah, for sure, man, for sure. Number one for me goes to the whole Awakened Star Wars trilogy, the one that just came out. I actually really enjoy these films. Of course, The Force Awakens is said to be the best one out of the trilogy. I personally like Rise of Skywalker the best because, it's just JJ coming in and cleaning shit up. But I honestly didn't mind The Last Jedi. A lot of people were like, what the fuck was going on? My biggest critique of The Last Jedi is what he did with Luke Skywalker. I mean, other than that, everything else I felt like was pretty decently flowing. I mean, of course, it's a Star Wars story, so there's a lot of, a lot of dialogue instead of a lot of action, and because it's kind of like a samurai type S. Not everything is just action, 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 but it's a lot of dialogue and setting things up. But yeah, I felt like they could have done Luke Skywalker better, made him not so much of a grumpy boomer. But other than that, like, I really enjoyed them. Like, I still watch them to this day. So I don't understand why they get as much heat as they do. I do agree that JJ should have done the whole trilogy. And I mean, that is what it is. But they also created something in The Last Jedi that I think would have been special. Because if you remember at the end of that film where the little kid is sweeping and then he uses the force to bring the broom to him, I wish they would have touched on that a little bit in Rise of the Skywalker and brought that a little bit more to the light, because there is a new realm of new Jedi coming to face. But yeah, I mean, I actually really enjoy these films. So that's why Star Wars Force Awakens trilogy is on my number one spot.
Yeah, no, I totally agree with everything you said. I too enjoyed the trilogy. I think it's an amazing trilogy. I also think that J.J. Abrams should have done all three. Nothing against Ryan Johnson. The thing I had the problem with, I'm going to kind of give a pass to Ryan Johnson on the whole Luke Skywalker thing, because from what I understand, it was a much more detailed story and a much different path for Luke prior to the untimely death of Carrie Fisher. I guess he had planned out some really significant storyline between Luke and Leia, which had to get canned because obviously of the untimely death, and they weren't able to do it. So I'm going to give him a little pass on that. Although I agree with you, I don't like how he fixed it. I just think they could have done something better with Luke. My biggest critique is that he fucked up, Ben and Ray.
Yeah.
I think they should have been siblings, like we all know that they are. They should have been Han Solo and Leia's kids, and that is my biggest critique. I just think, had they done that and they stuck with that, and then finished off with the Last Jedi and all that, and had them be the kids, I just think that would have been the better route to go instead of the way that they did it. It would have been a nice nod to the whole sexual tension between the two of them, and then they find out they're actually fucking related, much like Luke and Leia. It would have been a throwback to the original. But overall, yeah, I enjoyed it. I thought it was a fitting end to the Skywalker saga, and stop the hate.
Just saying.
Stop the hate. Yeah.
Yeah.
My number one, and you guys have heard me talk about this time and time again. It's one of my all-time favorite films. I think it's a fucking brilliant story. I thought the cast was brilliant. I think John Bernthal's performance as the principal or guidance counselor, who's fucked up all the time on weed and in his special soup, is fucking brilliant. Steals the movie. I'm talking about Me and Earl and the Dying Girl. I just think this is a drama-driven film about a relationship between two best friends that kind of gets interrupted, if you will, with this one guy's fascination with this girl that's dying from cancer, and they become in a relationship together. And what does that do to the best friend and the thing? And I just think it's a very interesting coming of age story told through the eyes of that scenario. And there's brilliant filmmaking involved there. Some of the shots are fucking epic, and I just think the acting is phenomenal. And I don't understand the hate for this film. I think much like what you said about how maybe just not enough people have seen it. And so the people that have seen it are just haters, and maybe that's where it's coming from. I feel like if it had a broader audience, if it had a bigger viewership, people would not hate on it so much, because they would make their opinion, and more people who love it like me would get that out there. So watch it, please. Tell me what you think. I think you'll enjoy it if you just sit down and go into it with an open mind. I think you'll really enjoy it and not hate it. Me and Earl and the Dying Girl.
Yes, man. Check it out. Check it out. Well, guys, we want to know, what is your number one film that you love that everyone else hates? Man, oh man, be sure to comment below in the YouTube section or on our podcast platforms or social media at ItCap Podcast or at JLo Fantastic or Crazy Ant Guy 1970.
Yes,
we love the fan interaction.
We do.
But now it's time for the box office recap. Man, oh man, it's been a nice little slump at the box office this past couple weeks. Number one was Top Gun Maverick. When did that fucking come out? Yeah, exactly. It came in with number one was only 6 million. Number two was Bullet Train with 5.7. Love the film, by the way. So good.
So good.
Everybody should check that one out. Number three was Spider-Man No Way Home, 5.4 million. Number four was DC League Super Pets, 5 million, and Innovation was at number 5 with about 5 million.
Yeah, and in the story of keep your mouth shut until you know for sure, Sony came out bragging hard that Spider-Man
hard.
was going to reclaim the number 1 spot,
Yeah.
and then when the actual numbers came in, not only was it not number 1, it wasn't even fucking number 2, it was number 3.
Yeah.
Don't speak until you know for sure. That's all
Yeah,
we're saying. It's like-
exactly. Well, new movies that are coming out this week: After Ever Happy, The House of the Lost Cape, or The House of the Lost on the Cape, Barbarian, Medieval, and Brasamista Part 1, Shiva.
Ooh,
Interesting.
I'm hearing Barbarian will be number 1 this weekend in a really, really, really weak box office.
Yeah,
Like,
it's gonna be rough.
in fact,
man.
all of the top 5 films, from what I understand, did not even make as much as the number 1 movie this past weekend.
That's so rough.
Yikes.
That's so rough. Well, movies you can still go see: Beast, Minions, Rise of Gru, Jaws is now out. You can go see that, so that's gonna be fun for all those who haven't seen it before. Thor: Love and Thunder and Dragon Ball Superhero. IMDb Pro's top trending segments, though. The top trending movie is Nope. Top trending TV show is House of the Dragon. Are we surprised? And top trending star is Millie Alcox, who is the princess and House of the Dragon.
Yeah,
so
so
be
it
sure
makes
to check
sense,
that
totally.
out. Love it. Well, guys, thank you so much for getting crazy with us on episode 207 of Inside the Crazy Ant Farm. Man, oh man, D23 has a lot of good stuff coming out of it. And be sure to check out all the trailers if you didn't watch them with us because of all the bandwidth. Man, oh man, but be sure to follow us at ItCaf Podcast on social media and at Crazy Ant Media. Be sure to follow us both personally on social media. Myself at JLo Fantastic and
At Crazy Ant Guy 1970.
that's right, man. And you guys know you can subscribe to this podcast anywhere you listen to podcasts at ItCaf Podcast on all of your podcast platforms.
Yes.
And we're talking Anchor, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Play Music, iHeartRadio, Podbean, Stitcher, and so much more. Like I said, at ItCaf Podcast, ITCAF Podcast.
Yes.
Be sure to check it out. And of course, subscribe to the YouTube channel for all the latest and greatest things that are coming out of Crazy Ant Media. Be sure to hit the like button on the video, subscribe, and ring that bell for all the latest and greatest notifications. And of course, be sure to visit our website, www.crazyantmedia.com, where you can start rocking the latest and greatest Crazy Ant Media gear. We got shirts, we got hats, we have everything and anything you need for this upcoming holiday season.
Facts.
But man, oh man, got to reflect on the episode, and I'm super excited for basically everything that's coming out of Star Wars and Marvel, obviously. But I wanted to see, because there was some rumors online about a possible Obi-Wan Kenobi season 2, and I was hoping that they would at least announce that at D23 Expo. But it's okay, it's fine. We gotta let things, run their course and see how Andor does and all the good things. But I mean, everything that came out of there, like I said during the industry news segment, I'm super excited for all of it. Like, there's nothing I'm not impressed about.
Yeah, no, me too. I can't wait for all of it to hit. I can't wait to watch all of it. I was a little disappointed because rumors have been swirling all week too about maybe Julie Kumar, Jodie, I'm sorry, being Invisible Woman. And I was kind of hoping that we would see a casting announcement.
Yeah.
And I was also kind of hoping at least an announcement that the X-Men would be one of the movies in Phase 6, because as you guys know, on all of the Disney Plus Marvel shows, they've been dropping X-Men hints throughout. They've been even in She-Hulk, the most recent, with the bar battle with the guy with the claws, clearly Wolverine. So I was kind of disappointed that we didn't at least get an announcement that the movie was coming. I don't know, but yeah, I'm so excited about everything that's coming. I just, like I said, I think the captain of the ship's fucked up, but the rest of the guys are running it pretty well, and I think Disney's got a lot of amazing stuff coming.
For sure, man, for sure. A lot of good stuff. But you know who is amazing, and we have to praise her every single week, and we'll probably be at the Queen's funeral. I mean, no doubt about it.
You would think,
or
maybe after that interview.
After that interview, yeah,
maybe not.
We'll see. The one, the only Oprah. Man, oh man, guys, thank you for the rocking and rolling of everything. We know got a little crazy there for a second when we're finally able to get back live. But yeah, we're here, man. Thank you for watching. Like and subscribe. Enjoy your weekend of football. But yeah, I can't wait for next week.
I know. And, guys, maybe the weather, because our bandwidth's normally pretty good, but it's been rainy all weekend. Maybe the weather's having something to do with it. Who knows? But shit happens live. It's technology. You got to roll with it. But thanks for everybody for staying and coming back after it went down and you came back. Saw several of you come back up to watch it after we came back up. That was awesome. Yeah.
But yeah,
stuff,
guys,
man.
have
stuff.
fun. Have a great week. And we look forward to talking to you guys next week. Stay crazy, my friends. That one was a little rough.
Yeah, it sucks
Think about it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Yeah.
All in a 2 feet radius.
Yeah. Started off so good though.
I know. And then look what dropped back down. I don't know.
Like, why the fuck does it do that?
I don't know. And then what do you think? Are you just going to leave us watching the trailers in the podcast version?
I am.
Okay.
Yeah. Because
I didn't even think about that. They're just going to hear the trailers, but.
Well, we make little comments, so I feel like it's okay. Yeah. Why not, right?
Yeah.
Peanut butter.
Fucking shit.
Fucking technology, Peanut. Fucking technology. It's okay, though. Yeah, why does it start off good and then just drop? That makes no fucking sense.
Well, yeah, like when we tested it and it was running. And...
yeah, once it's recording, it shouldn't fuck with the volume.
Yeah.
Like, I get it if it resets, prior to recording, but once the recording is going, that seems very odd to me. That just doesn't even, I don't even know how that's possible.
Right.
All good though, all good. Is what it is.
Yeah.
Sometimes shit happens. We'll just have 2 videos up for people to see. Or 3, or however many times it had to be back up. What are you going to do? Right, P? What are you going to do? Just got to roll. Oh, buddy. Now, football and lunch. I would assume she's going to be coming soon.
Yeah, she said she's about to go on her lunch. If you just want to get it started. Because, all we have to do is cook the rice, right?
Do what?
All we have to do is cook the rice, right?
Oh, yeah. And then warm up put that in a pan and warm it up. But that won't take long. The rice is the longest. But even that won't take long.
So frustrating.
I know, but it's all good. It's all good.
I'm just happy that a couple weeks ago we switched back to Audacity and YouTube, because if we were still doing just the YouTube thing and you were writing the audio, we would have been fucked.
Yeah, fuck yeah, we would have. That would have really fucking sucked. But we're good.